So what are we talking about on this 5-minute quickie? Well, it's all about practice not making permanent, but making permanent practice really good so you can enjoy life, become a master, knowing what you do, doing what you know, and having that thing that you know get bigger and better and more enjoyable with every day that goes by. Something to think about, okay?
Warning.
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 Warning. You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
Hey, so we're back for another 5-Minute Muse, a 5-minute quickie podcast. And you've heard me say, practice does not make perfect. You hear everyone else say, oh, practice makes perfect. No, it doesn't. It makes permanent. And the thing about it is, you see, if you practice something wrong, it will make that wrong practice more permanent in your life. So when we get good technique and we practice that, it will begin to make that permanent. But the thing is, we have to practice. And we have to practice consistently. Because in this world of personal development, everything is in the muscle. You know, muscle memory. But when we used to train in NLP, or when I used to train in NLP, my son still does, Joseph Clough, one of our bits of the philosophy of that was to train people to get the processes in their muscle, to get the things just to be automatic. But you have to train and practice with skill, care, and you have to keep doing it to make it permanent. You know, you don't go to the gym, do we? You know, you've heard that example. I've gone to the gym once. Oh, I must be fit. No, it doesn't work that way. You know, we have to keep training and training and training. Go to the gym often. Because what does it do? That creates a permanency, but also creates longevity in life. And that's if we practice personal development, your skills, learning new skills and practicing the skills that you know, so you can become a master of them. What is mastery? Mastery to me is knowing what you do and doing what you know. So it doesn't mean mastery you have to know everything, but you have to know exactly what you do and what you're doing. Once you know what you're doing and why you're doing it and all that stuff, you become a master of that one thing. But it's like your brain is a sort of muscle. I don't think it is really, but if it is, you still have to use it. And use it in ways that, you have to stretch it, make things a little bit more complicated, because when you study things which are a little bit complicated, it means you really get things, you get to learn. You learn the things that you know, the old 80% principle, not the 80-20%, but just practicing the stuff that you know, that 80% to 80%. Never going too far all the time, because if we're stretching all the time, you'll just get bloody tired. Like in going to the gym, you will injure yourself if you're practicing at 100% all the time, and therefore you have time off. Well, if you practice 100% and it just gets to you, you'll stop. I want to make it interesting for you. And when you become good at things, it becomes really interesting. It becomes a joy. Even that little bit of ego in there goes, yeah, this is good. I love this. And your unconscious mind, when you get grateful about what you've learned and what you're able to do, knowing what you do and doing what you know, I think I got it wrong the last time, you suddenly realize, I have progressed a long bloody way. Give you an example, my son Daniel. He loves his exercise. He's very much into health and fitness for longevity. He's doing a podcast on it already. So look him up. I hope to get him as a guest on this podcast. But he was set a training regime a little while ago. And there was like a test. how many calories he could burn on one of those Aerofit bikes. And they're horrible. Have you ever done one? They are horrible. And he timed himself and did that. And then he just talked to me the other day because he just realised, he said I was doing some set of exercises which included the aero bike again. But it didn't include it just once. It included it, I think, 3 or 4 times with exercises in between. And he said, when I look back on what I did that day, Dad, it was just yesterday, when I look back on the amount of work that I did, I smashed that first check, as it were, out the park. And I didn't realise how fit I'd got. Because my 80%, and this is the bit that proves it, my 80% is so much more than my 100% last time. And I feel good. And now, because of that, I want to do more, Dad. And that's what I want for you. A healthy exercise regime, but in your personal development. Okay, yes, I want you to do healthy stuff as well. Get your body, because I want your body and your mind-body connection, keep everything fit and healthy. But just remember, we do have to practice. If you're like me, I forget. But every morning, I try to think what I'm going to do. Try to add it in. Beginning of every week on a Sunday, or at the end of every week on a Sunday, I'll review and then write down what I'm going to be doing in the week and the things I want to practice. Believe it or not, this is practiced to be better at what I know. Hopefully it's coming across in a good way. So maybe just, again, 5-minute quickie is musing over a cup of coffee. Time to think. Maybe when you're walking, you can go, how can I practice a little bit more? How can I make that practice something that I really enjoy? Because when you're enjoying it, and I don't know about all the chemicals in your head, but I know when you enjoy that practice, chemicals are released and you feel awesome. And you want to do more. You want to be more consistent. And that average of 80 just gets bigger and bigger. And you'll be amazed then that when you look back, the mastery that you have, knowing what you do, doing what you know, is now so big. So big. Isn't that something to look forward to? Knowing if you continue that, and you will, that's so big, will get even bigger. Crikey O'Reilly, he said, in a true English accent. There you go. That's something to me. I don't know where I've gone with that. That's something to muse about. With your cup of tea, your beer, your wine, your water, your G&T, whatever is your tipple. Maybe it's just a walk, fresh air, something to muse about, and then come home and crush it, smash it out the park. Because that's what I want for you. So do enjoy, have more fun than you can stand. Share this, do whatever. Press that subscribe button. Really does help. That makes my gratefulness jump out of my heart. So until next time, my friend, have more fun than you can stand and enjoy the practice to make good practice permanent. Bye-bye now.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.